So obviously you're entitled to film what you want to. Only thing I just want to make it clear is the car park itself is private land. So if you want to film from behind the barriers, that's fine. But otherwise, yeah, just not walking around in here is all. No, if you could do that now, as it's private land, I can escort you out of the private land, and then you can keep filming. But otherwise,
you deem it reasonable to use force?
Yeah, yeah. Just a reminder about this being a private car park, and me asking you to leave it as well.
Yeah,
so
I did want you to come out again.
I know you did, but I'm going to escort you off of the private land.
Welcome back to the channel where accountability meets reality and public officials are put to the test. In today's incident, we follow a determined citizen whose lawful activity sparks an unnecessary response from those expected to uphold the law. The video comes courtesy of Absolute Audits, whose outstanding work continues to reveal how quickly simple situations can escalate when authority is questioned. Be sure to support their channel through the link in the description. What begins as a routine recording session outside a police property soon develops into a tense standoff filled with demands, challenges, and attempts to control a perfectly legal activity. Rather than backing down, the auditor stays composed, informed, and ready for every claim made against him. Using patience, knowledge, and confidence, he turns the encounter into a lesson on rights, responsibility, and the limits of police power. Stay tuned because the situation intensifies fast, and the outcome is something the officers never expected.
No, not really.
Perfect. So obviously you're entitled to film what you want to. Only thing I just want to make it clear is the car park itself is private land. So if you want to film from behind the barriers, that's fine. But otherwise, yeah, just not walking around in here is all.
It's publicly accessible though.
No, but it's private land still. A place can be publicly accessible and be private land, just like if you walk through nature and walk into a farmer's field. Still as field, but you can access it.
Yeah, so it's publicly
you can
accessible.
film what you want, but I just have to let you know this is a private car park, private land. So
yeah, I'm aware of that.
Other side of the barrier for me?
I will in a minute, yeah.
No, if you could do that now, as it's private land, I can escort you out of the private land, and then you can keep filming. But otherwise,
you deem it reasonable to use force?
Yeah, yeah. Would you like to walk yourself out there?
To move over there?
Yeah, just on the other side of the barrier. You're perfectly fine to stand over there.
I don't think it's that side of the barrier. See, you've got a public footpath sign there.
Would you like to go there yourself, sir, or?
Well, can I just inquire about this pavement here?
Yeah, well, stand on the pavement if you like, because obviously that's a...
So even though it's on this side of the barrier,
well, you can see the little
fine.
bollards there, demarcating the separation. But yeah, it's not in the car park, that's all.
So if I wanted to speak to the police, can I not do that today? Or?
You can. Would you like to speak to me about something? Just pop
no,
over
I'm
here,
just
we're on
saying,
the road
I'm saying, provide, you know, let's say I came here to report something. Is the front counter open today?
It won't be open on Sundays, no.
Oh, right.
There's a sign on the front that's telling you about the opening hours.
See, I wasn't sure if I was...
Otherwise, there's a yellow phone as well, which goes direct to our control room.
Okay.
Do you need any help with anything? Do you want to report anything at all?
No. Do you have a mounted unit here?
Not here, no. They're up near Milton Keynes.
Oh, right. Just wondered why the high up one.
To be honest, I have no idea. I think it's for when people put the bins out back. But,
right.
If you don't need any help, like I say, you can just stay this side of the barriers for me, and when a car comes through, you can step out the road. Otherwise, give us a shout if you need us. Like I say, the yellow phone, or shout loudly, we'll hear you through the windows, alright?
I wish you could follow me around all the time, pointing out hazards. And...
Alright, take care of yourself.
What's your shoulder number?
5180. Just there for you on the chest and also on the shoulders. Alright? Need anything else at all?
I mean, I'd like it if you didn't wear that badge.
Well, that's your preference. My preference is to keep it on. But
how do you pronounce your surname? Is it Abdi?
That's right, yeah.
Abdi.
That exchange revealed the core issue right from the beginning. The officer admitted that filming itself was not unlawful, but then immediately redirected the focus toward private property concerns and implied that the auditor should relocate, while also suggesting the possibility of force if he refused. The auditor remained calm throughout and responded with precise and measured questioning that shifted the situation into a clear examination of legal authority and its boundaries. Instead of getting drawn into broad arguments about general rights, he stayed focused on specifics such as the barrier, the pavement layout, and the presence of a public footpath sign. That attention to detail completely altered the tone of the encounter. By insisting on exact definitions of boundaries and clear explanations of powers, he prevented vague assertions from being used as a form of pressure. The more exact the discussion became, the harder it was for any justification of interference to stand. This situation perfectly demonstrates how composure, patience, and a strong understanding of legal limits allow a citizen to maintain control, and how any claim of authority must be clearly defined to hold up under scrutiny, otherwise it quickly begins to collapse.
Hey. A reminder about this being a private car park, and me asking you to leave it as well.
Yeah,
so
I did want you to come out again.
I know you did, but I'm going to escort you off of the private land. And that'll do, perfect.
And can I
Pop
just
up.
remind you of a policy that you didn't follow?
What's that?
Hang on, let me turn this back around. Don't want it on me. It's your body camera policy.
It's on?
Yeah, and it was on before and you didn't tell me.
Okay.
And it's your policy under GDPR.
Not under GDPR, no, just generally.
No,
So the point is generally,
it's for
as we're in a
GDPR.
public place, any person
Oh, are
like
we?
yourself is free to record
I thought we were in a private
place.
place.
On a private place, we can record what we want. It's our property.
Oh, so smug, you're so right. Why don't, if you're going to go back into...
We're not going to go back in, we're going to hang around.
When you go back into your hovel, have a little look at Section 33 of the Criminal Justice Act.
Okie dokie.
That turns this into a public place because there's no fencing.
Okie dokie.
Which means you...
I want to go on all of the fields I want as well now. That sounds good.
Well, no, because they're fenced off, you clown. Is there a fence here?
Yeah. There's not a fence on every single field in the country, is there?
No, but read... Honestly, I know you won't, but when you go in, have a little look. Section 33 of the Criminal Justice Act, 1972.
Tell you what.
Write it down.
Just there and I'll have a look on my phone, just for you.
Okay, I can tell it.
The officer persisted with the private land argument and seemed intent on ending the interaction quickly by attempting to move the auditor on or escort him away. Rather than getting pulled into a repetitive exchange, the auditor redirected the focus and began questioning the officer's adherence to body-worn camera policy before shifting the discussion toward a broader legal question about what actually qualifies as a public place. That shift completely altered the dynamic. Instead of the auditor having to justify his actions, the officer was now required to explain and defend the basis of his authority. The conversation moved away from simple compliance and toward scrutiny of law and procedure. By steering the dialogue into policy details and legal definitions, the auditor maintained control of the exchange and placed the burden of justification back onto the officer, rather than allowing assumptions to stand unchallenged.
Found it?
Yeah, so what I found is, like I say, Section 33 of that 172 relates purely to Section 9 of the same Act. Section 9 of that Act has been repealed by the Powers of Criminal Courts Act 1973, so now I've got to have a look at that one as well. But basically...
No, you're looking at the wrong thing. I don't know why you can't find it.
I found it for you.
No, I can find the actual...
Yeah, and it relates to the power in that Act which has since been repealed. So I'm just having a look at the one that's replaced it for
all
you.
Section 33 does is it just defines in law what a public place is.
For the purposes of Section 9. That's
So
what it says.
it doesn't matter what the purpose is for.
No, it does, because that's what it says.
It's telling you that any place that is accessible to the public...
No, it's not telling you any place. It's not telling you any place. I'll get it back up for you again.
No, but you've not found the definition.
Yes, I have. Look.
Read me the definition of a public
For
place.
the definition of public place in Section 9.1.
Yeah.
So it's in that
Public
section
place includes any highway...
in section for the purpose of it in 9.1.
No, read the entire thing.
So I'll explain.
No, you're picking and choosing.
I can read it for you if you want.
No, I can read it.
For the definition of public
No,
place.
I don't care about
Of the
that.
Public
Read
Order
the bit
Act.
in quotation marks.
Hang on,
That's the bit you're omitting.
So I'll read the bit in quotation
I hope you
marks.
don't do this to investigations.
I'll read
Pick and choose the
I'll
bits
read the
you
bit in
like.
quotation marks.
Please do.
I'd just like to point out you're picking and choosing.
And I'm going to put the whole definition on screen to see if
Are you going to include the first bit as well, where it says that this relates to
Why are you
Section
shaking?
9? Are you going after my medical stuff? Anyway.
No, I'm just asking why you're shaking.
Because that's...
Just asking if you're scared of me or something.
No.
Good.
But yeah, as I'm saying, if you don't want me to pick and choose, I don't think you should either.
No,
read
I'm
the whole
not picking.
thing.
Please do.
Extension of definition of public place in Public Order Act 1936. For the definition of public place in Section 9.1 of the Public Order Act 1936, there shall be substituted: public place includes any highway, any other premise, or which at the material time the public have or are permitted to have access, whether on pavement or otherwise.
Or otherwise. The car park.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's for the definition of public place in
So
Section
that's
9.1,
what a public place is.
which has been repealed.
No, it hasn't been repealed.
Yes, it has. I'll show you that bit that I just got to as well.
Section 33. You can't repeal a definition.
The definition is
The
purely
definition
from that
is
bit of
there.
legislation.
I promise you, it's there.
And I promise you.
There has been countless civil claims made using that in recent years.
Okay.
You cannot use force to remove me from a public place.
I can
That
use
is
force to
that-
remove you from
You
private property.
think you can? No, it's private. Everything's private property. That whether it's owned by the council, you can come into my front garden. If the gate's
and then
open,
we've got just at the bottom here, same Act, textual amendments, sections 1 to 5 and 7 to 22, which 9 is in between that number, repealed by that one. All right.
of the Courts Act 1973.
Yeah.
So you're not looking at the right one.
Okay. I feel like this is going to go round and round.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you
I'll
what.
leave it as agree to disagree.
I'll find it and I'll email it to you.
That's okay. I found it myself.
You've not found the right one. You found the definition, but you're trying to say that doesn't apply. What a joker.
This was the exact moment where preparation, calm thinking, and real legal knowledge completely shifted the entire balance of the encounter. At the beginning, the officer tried to shut the discussion down quickly by repeatedly insisting that the car park was private property and acting as though that single statement settled everything beyond question. The tone suggested finality, as if no further explanation or challenge was necessary. But instead of accepting that surface-level claim, the auditor refused to rely on summaries, assumptions, or brief interpretations and chose to go directly to the actual legal source, by carefully pulling up the relevant legislation and focusing on the precise wording rather than general claims. The entire direction of the conversation changed. What had started as a simple attempt to dismiss the situation turned into a live examination of the legal basis behind the officer's position. Each phrase of the statute became important. Every word mattered. And as the discussion shifted away from broad statements and into exact legal language, the confidence in the original assertion began to weaken. Once the argument was no longer about opinions or quick explanations, but instead about the exact meaning of written law, the authority in the conversation stopped sounding completely certain. Instead, it began to sound more cautious, more defensive, and less absolute than it initially appeared. A single calm and consistent request to refer back to the full statute exposed gaps and assumptions that might never have been questioned if the officer's interpretation had simply been accepted at face value. The key turning point wasn't confrontation or aggression, it was precision. The willingness to slow the situation down and focus on what the law actually says, rather than what someone claims it says, completely changed the dynamic. It demonstrated how quickly authority based on assumption can weaken when it is tested against primary legal text. In the end, the encounter highlighted a simple but powerful lesson. Knowing the actual law is often far more effective than relying on someone else's interpretation of it. Preparation doesn't just provide information, it creates protection. And understanding your rights clearly builds a level of confidence that cannot easily be shaken by pressure or authority alone. So the question remains, if you were in that situation, would you have accepted the officer's explanation as final, or would you have taken the time to insist on reading the legislation for yourself before agreeing to anything?